Not bad. That's better than the
Hi there.
last week.
We got 2 guests today. So now we're being recorded, but we'll have the whole thing on
No, that's
Carson
mine.
Roll.
Oh, that's yours? Oh, sorry.
Apparently, this is mic 2.
Okay. So
Or no, that's headphone 2.
This is mine.
That's confusing. Oh.
this is mine.
Okay.
I was like,
Nope,
oh,
no,
you're not ready to start it?
no.
That's me.
Wait a minute.
That's me.
Nope.
Huh?
No.
But this one's you.
Oh, 4.
I gotta be messing with people since
Was 3 yours?
Yeah, because I was
Okay.
messing with his.
I'm doing like, ah!
Would you stop texting me, man?
All right, 2 minutes until the next stop.
Oh, and if you want to take a drink, yep. Just as if you were coughing.
Yeah, this is like an ASMR.
And so I wasn't able to make it to the last 2 senior service meetings because it was just like insane. Sometimes I can't get out.
Earlier this month was the most team from Carson City.
Oh, wow.
And so they were
Very good.
They were good.
Word's getting out. Senior celebrations is working.
I won't be there next week though. Taking the week off.
It's 4th of July week, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not committing to it.
Not committing to July 4th or just anything that week?
Just that that week.
Okay.
Yeah, you never know. So it's about a minute and a half.
Okay, just spilled beans. That's why the packet's coming in the mail. Like I might have gotten a little more than just curious.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I'm just thinking a free trip to Virginia, man. Free hotel.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, say hi.
Hey. I'm somewhere behind all the cords.
Yeah, you can always stand up if you want.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I have a face for radio.
Ah, me too.
That's funny.
And last half of the minute.
About 40 seconds. 30 seconds, actually.
Yeah.
Me. God, it's terrible.
Me. Testing.
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, and you are listening to Carson Rural Communities here on KNBC 95.1 FM, Carson City. And CJ is motioning for me to make sure to turn on all the mics so we can hear everybody this time.
Yes.
Because, I guess it's not just all about me. Hi, CJ.
Hello, Mr. Phil. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a wonderful day outside.
It is. It's getting warm. I'm seeing a little bit of summer out there now. It's about darn tootin' time.
Well, not quite as hot in the studio today. A little bit cooler.
Yeah, we left the door open, so
So Phil doesn't look like a glazed donut.
Ooh, yeah. Get a little breeze coming in every now and then. So I have 2 guests today.
Who we got?
I have Mr. Timothy Johnston. He is with the Better Business Bureau, and I get to see him at least once a month about different things going on in the Carson City area. And then I have Mr. Rick Dutton with the State of Nevada Business and Industry Nevada Consumer Affairs Department.
Correct.
And they kind of work in harmony. And I thought it would be great to have both of you come in and chat with us and tell us a little bit about Better Business Bureau and consumerism and how you fall into your side of it too, because I know you guys work together all the time.
Yes, we do communicate quite often.
Great. So one of the reasons why I wanted to have both of you come and talk is, first of all, people only know the Better Business Bureau for making a complaint for something that's happened at a restaurant or whatever. And we know the Better Business Bureau does more. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that?
So you listened last time I spoke at that meeting.
I know that.
So yeah, a lot of people know the Better Business Bureau is the place to complain, and we do get our fair share of disputes. Last year we handled about 1.3 million complaints throughout the BBB system. But really what it comes down to is Better Business Bureau is a nonprofit, standards-based organization that helps people find businesses, brands, and charities they can trust. So more often, people turn to us for reports on businesses to really know what's the track record for that business. I mean, we live in a state that sees a continued influx of individuals that are moving here, and even just with businesses that are starting and growing and things along those lines. So if you're looking for what is the history and what's the track record of that business, has it received any complaints? How does it take care of those complaints? Is it a BBB accredited business? All that is available for free on our website, bbb.org. And we also take calls for individuals that are not tech inclined or may not have access to the internet. And that, is really one of the nice things about the Better Business Bureau is we are in the community. And so people can reach out and call and talk to a member of our team. And we do a lot of other things, but I definitely want to plug our scam tracker. That is something where
I saw that. I was looking to see what was on the website,
So,
to see what's new.
a simple way, an easy way for individuals to report scams. They can also see the scams that are being reported. So if you think something smells kind of fishy or scammy, you can check if somebody else has reported. And then that information we share with the Federal Trade Commission, which is a law enforcement agency at the federal level. But our reports is something that can help Rick out, whether he's doing an investigation or if we can't move a complaint to resolution, might be something that he's interested in talking to that consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly do you have to do when you have to investigate it?
So what I can tell you first is we're an advocate for the consumers in state of Nevada. And we help people that have experienced deceptive trade, fraud, misrepresentation when it comes to the sale or purchase of a product. When we start our investigation, normally I go to the BBB or I contact Tim and find out about a company, and then we move on from there. And once we move on, we look to see if the complaint meets if the business has conducted business that has violated the NRS statute 598, which is the deceptive trade, fraud, misrepresentation.
Right.
And we hold businesses accountable to the policies, the warranties. If you go into a store and they say, hey, this is a 5-year warranty, they don't abide by it, then we'll hold them accountable to that.
Okay, so that would entail I'm thinking mechanics liens in one sense, that when someone places a mechanics lien on, let's just say an HVAC. I don't want to name a company or anything.
Sure.
But, an HVAC and it malfunctions after a year. What happens then if the consumer doesn't get any kind of resolution?
So mechanics, if it is a HVAC, we work in the 598 jurisdiction. The HVAC, we would refer you over to the State of Nevada Contractors Board.
Contractors.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
So we're if a person doesn't know where to go, they may contact us, or the Better Business Bureau might contact us and say, hey, can you help this person? We're not sure who has jurisdiction. And we will direct that consumer to that agency that does have jurisdiction.
Okay, so then NRS, you said 598?
598, yes, ma'am.
What does that entail?
We look at the state's statutes when it comes to deceptive trade, fraud, misrepresentation. When a company states that this is a brand new product, and they may have sold you a used product or worn product.
Okay.
So they would have known or should have known what they sold you, or they state that they're providing you a discount. They don't provide you that discount.
Okay.
So
if someone says, I love this one because I've seen this happen in a restaurant. The restaurant gave a discount to senior citizens, but they didn't get the same amount of food. They got a smaller amount of food, not a senior item on the menu, but a discount. Should they not have had the same amount of food? Should they not have had the same amount of food on the plate? Unless it said, a special kind of seniors meal. I'm talking seniors discount versus a seniors meal. I don't want to name them.
Somebody short.
okay, yeah. So I could say that if they advertise that it's a senior meal, I don't know what the portion size is. We can't. So one of the things that Consumer Affairs cannot do is tell the business how much they can charge for a specific product.
Exactly.
But if they advertise, you're going to get so many gigs, for say like internet or TV coverage or what have you, and they aren't capable of doing that, then we'll look into that.
Yeah. Well, you're probably coming out by my house.
Yeah, there's many things that we can look at. There's a large snippet bit of violations that we can look at.
Okay.
And one of the things too is when sometimes a business doesn't know that they've caused a violation.
Right.
So it'll be educational for them.
Exactly. Not slapping their hand, but showing them what they need to comply with.
Yes.
On the
Yes.
compliance side of that.
We're
to amend it.
Yes, that is correct. So we look at the compliance side, and we'll go out and audit businesses too, and we'll do site visits. So we will actually show up to a business and ask for the paperwork that had been provided to the complainant. Okay. But if the business doesn't know that they've caused a violation, it'll be a moment for teaching, so we can inform them. And sometimes, most times, they're very thankful that they were made aware of that.
Yeah.
We don't try to create a bad business interaction, or a bad interaction with the business. Yes, it's more informative. But I can tell you, I've been with Consumer Affairs for going on 8 years, and I've gotten close to $3.5 million back for consumers in restitution.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you. And
That's pretty significant.
And I can refer, to Tim too. The BBB has been very helpful. When we conduct investigations, I'll call Tim. I'll ask him, what do you have on, this business if I can't find it, on the website.
And the big thing that separates the two of us is he's a state agency, essentially a law enforcement in a way. I mean,
In a way, yes.
you carry a badge. I don't carry a badge. I'm with a nonprofit organization that the force that we bring is the printed word. And so, for example, when I first started with BBB back in 2000, I talked with a business owner who was really mad that he could quantify that he lost $250,000 because of what BBB was reporting on his business. And so for somebody to say you have no power, well, yeah, we're not a law enforcement agency, but we do have the power of the written word, and it's all based on fact, material that we can back it up to help consumers make a good decision.
So with that being said, is there I guess an entity that the two of you have worked on together recently, without naming the entity, or is there one that you've worked on together recently that you can share?
So with consumer affairs, we cannot confirm or deny any investigation.
Okay.
So I have to
understand.
put that out there.
Sure.
But I can tell you if I start an investigation, or my counterparts in Las Vegas who are very successful also with holding businesses accountable, or teaching businesses, they've gotten the same amount that I have in restitution. But I can tell you every single investigation that I have done starts with the information that I've gained off of the Better Business Bureau website or communication with Tim.
Okay.
And then we move on from there.
Cool. Excellent. So what else does the Better Business Bureau do for the community? And you obviously, both of you go out to different meetings, and I see you quite often. And what else do you do?
So my focus is in outreach, in being out in the community. I mean, we're a 100-plus-year-old nonprofit organization. I'm much younger than the 100, not by much, but out in the community, telling people who we are, what we do. I do a lot of presentations. I'm doing one tomorrow at a senior living community. It's a 55-plus home community, and talking about people like to know about scams and scam prevention. So that's what I focus in on. I talk a little bit about what we see nationally through reports from the Federal Trade Commission. Why? Because a lot of our material is being used by the FTC and their Consumer Sentinel. So we use that. I also talk a little bit about who we are, what we do, and then I kind of get into what are the riskiest scams based on reports to BBB Scam Tracker. So and just yesterday, I was in the Dayton Senior Center for a health and wellness fair hosted by Lyon County. So from that perspective, we do our best to get out in the community, and if somebody is looking for a presentation from a source, from an expert, encourage them to reach out to either Rick or myself. We've done joint presentations as well together.
Well, that's cool. Excellent. So you know that this Saturday I am hosting a simulcast Zoom, a live simulcast Zoom for the military and the veterans out at the Veterans Healing
awesome.
Camp. Yes. And lots of things have changed in our political administration that affects veterans and current military, active military. So we have many different programs that we can help them with. And we just want to show them what we have available. And we always invite nonprofits and other entities to come out and chat and let the folks know what's available, because funding's going away on a lot of things. And so you kind of have to be creative, and that's why we're having this gathering on Saturday. It's at 1:00. Come on over. I believe there's also going to be a weekly community yard sale on Saturdays. That got moved from the Stagecoach Shopping Center to the Veterans Healing Camp.
Was that the one that was at the roundabout before?
Yeah. No. Well, yes and no.
Yes and no.
So they've spent the last 2 years having their weekly
I know there's been some
flea
controversy
market,
over that.
farmers market. Yeah, there's a lot of changes going on. A lot. So the farmers market for Stagecoach area, and like I don't want to say yard sale, like a open air market. There you go, an open air market. And so it's been moved over to the Veterans Healing Camp, which is the perfect place. So maybe you guys could come visit.
Yeah.
It's this Saturday. Be there at 1:00. It starts promptly at 1. I can't control that. So, so if you're late, oh no, what can I say? So, all right. So we start out with filing a complaint. I'm just going to say,
I've got something to go along with the military angle. So,
good. Well,
for us to talk about BBB in the time period that we have, I'd be, kind of like that fast talker at the end of a car commercial with all the, fine details. Yeah. But one of the things that we do through our educational nonprofit side of Better Business Bureau is we put together reports, especially focused in on the military, based on the reports that we see and how can we help educate. Because,
That's awesome.
our younger generation that are serving, they're getting a paycheck. They may let it be rolling as they're serving wherever they happen to be stationed, and then come back and all of a sudden have this chunk of change that they maybe want to buy a new vehicle. And so just last year, we did a study called Marketplace Challenges Facing the Military Community, looking at not only just scams, but also bad business practices. And so these reports are something that's made available for free off of our website. And so just another angle. And
cool.
we can do
Yeah.
presentations geared towards military consumers as well.
Well, come visit us. After that presentation, we'd love to have you come and talk about it.
Yeah.
So that is really cool. That's really good. So, yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
you start out with a complaint.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't like John Doe's dinner at the restaurant.
She doesn't like the food that she's being served, apparently.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't like that John Doe's food. Yep.
yeah. So
it's-
so we if that came to us, so just say a complaint came to us, we would vet the complaint, and see if there are violations. And if we found that there are violations and we communicate with the business and the business is not agreeing, then we also work with the state of Nevada Attorney General's office.
okay.
So in that context, once we've completed our investigation and they are continuing their behavior, violating consumer protection laws in the state of Nevada, we will communicate with the Attorney General's office. And if that business chooses to continue their behavior, then we can suggest that we go to it. We will communicate with the Attorney General's office, and we will bring the business to a hearing where it will be another moment for an education moment,
Yes.
I'll say,
Okay.
where we look at getting the restitution for the consumers.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And another thing I'd like to go over right here is,
okay.
people, when a person goes out to purchase something, they should, research the business, research what they're going to purchase, check and see if there are warranties, ask questions about the product or service. And if a person doesn't feel comfortable, they want to purchase something, but they want to get a, second opinion, to ask somebody to come along with you.
Yeah.
If you're going to buy a car, ask somebody to come along with you.
So hypothetically speaking, if you were to buy a used Daewoo at a Carson City car dealership with a factory warranty for a factory that no longer exists, that would be a good example of doing research, right?
That would be a great example.
Not
Yes.
that I've ever
And-
done that.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to throw in there that
Yeah.
to really help cover you, take it to an independent mechanic to have it reviewed. So when a car comes in and before it's sold, it has to go through a safety inspection
Right.
to make sure that you're not, the wheel's going to fall off when you happen to drive
Like
away.
even if it's like one of these certified pre-owns or something like that.
So by going to a independent mechanic, it provides you that independent insight as to, okay, there's nothing really wrong at the moment, but in the next 6 months to a year, you might have $2,000 worth of repairs because
Yes.
of this.
Right.
So, for example, when I bought our family van, I found out that one of the struts or something in the rear needed to be replaced. I didn't know that if that got replaced, the other one has to be replaced. It's a dual job. They both have to be done at the same time. So
double the price.
so I went to the dealer and I said, okay, if you'll take care of that one, I'll cover the other one. Let's get it taken care of. Let's sign the deal and move the van out of the shop. So,
Mhm.
from that perspective, it can really help you. You got to pay an independent mechanic to do the work. It might be $150 to $200, but that can save you potential headaches down the line. And when he talks about doing your research, we want people to come to bbb.org and check out a company's history and record. We would prefer that you go in with all eyes wide open, that you are confident about who you're doing business with. So that way you don't have to file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau or Nevada Consumer Affairs. Don't want to put ourselves out of a job, but it's just a matter of being educated can save a lot of headaches for individuals.
Yes, and to tag along with that, it's important if you go into a business and the salesperson promises you something.
Like a factory warranty.
Yeah, they verbally state that, and you don't see it. Have them put it down in writing. You know, because that will be evidence for us that we can use.
That would have been good.
And then also with a lot of these scams, you know, they're trying to pressure you, you know, to get to, you know, to make a decision quickly.
Right.
Don't do that. Take your time. You know, if it's not right for you right then, walk away. You have every right to walk away. You know, if you're still in the midst of making a decision.
Solid advice. I love
Yeah.
that.
And make sure that you read everything that they, you know, provide you.
All the small type.
All the small type.
Right.
If they're rushing you through, it may not be the place that you want to, you know, make a purchase from.
Right.
You know, look at a business.
sense.
If they give you time, they say, take all the time you want.
And that's one of the things that we see as the fifth riskiest scam. Yes, last year was home improvement scams.
Mhm.
Typically, you know, hey, I'm here to sell you, and you may not even been thinking
The
about
window guy.
doing that. And everything now is electronic. They've got a little a tablet, and just do your initial here, and this is this, this is this. Well, probably behind the scenes is a 40-page document that you're only seeing a few sentences here and there, and you're
Right.
signing. So you want to make sure that in
So
those
don't sign
scenarios,
things on the tablet.
right? I mean, if the first thing that you're thinking about, or if this is what you're hearing before you say yes to buying something, probably not a great time to be buying something. If you've been thinking about it, ask questions, but again, take that time, like
Fully
Rick is
support
talking
that,
about.
yes.
And then if you're going to be signing things on a tablet, I need a printed copy before I sign so I can read it. Again, what are you committing to? Because that is what the legal side will take a look at.
Right.
What did you commit to?
Mhm.
And if that warranty is not a part of your contract, it was verbally stated but not in writing, there's not much that can be done later unless there's some other angles
the
that they can
tablet
come at.
advice is genius. I would have never even thought about that. That's so
Yep.
true.
Yeah.
Look, I would like to add, so if someone has no soliciting on your door, they're not supposed to knock on the door, right?
So,
Technically?
I can only speak to the area that I'm most familiar with because I live there. But in the city of Reno, city of Sparks, and Washoe County, why, if you are a door-to-door solicitor, you do need to be registered with local authorities.
Yep.
And
That's what I
if they
was
don't
gonna-
have that, they shouldn't be going door to door. If you are running into issues, let them know so that they can, reach out.
Lyon County loves its regulations.
Yes.
So they probably
Yeah.
I have
Make
this-
sure that they show, like my ID here. They have to have an ID with them. If they don't, ask them to show you. If they don't have it, they might want to walk away.
Okay.
Right.
And as far as locks, there's businesses that need to have sheriff's cards also, and they need to provide those to you as evidence that they have been vetted. You need to see that those persons who are coming up to your door are actually vetted. You don't want somebody that's scoping out your home.
Right.
I'm always worried about that.
But the thing too is make sure that, what people need to know too is make sure that you are aware of what you're putting out there on social media, because because they can do a workup of you. They can know where you work, where
I'm sure
who your
there's actually
family
already a
is.
physical clone of me somewhere based on everything I put on social
Driving a
media.
Daewoo?
Yeah.
Driving a Daewoo, yeah.
Yeah,
My eldest brother went through that. Yep.
yeah.
Someone cloned him on the internet. Yes, definitely. So
Yeah.
I have this wonderful sign that says, "No soliciting. Seriously, don't make it weird." And during the last campaign that was going on, it was really funny. I was on the back side of the house, and I could see this guy walking up to my door. He turned around, and just went back again. It's like,
Yeah.
I could see him doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, at least he can read.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, working with the consumer affairs for the last, 8 years, I'm very proud of, our partnership with Better Business Bureau. and the Attorney General's office and the
That's
other agencies that we work with.
Right.
Because without the other agencies, and the other community leaders and businesses, like the BBB, we wouldn't be able to do our investigations as well as we do.
Right.
We have a
Group
group.
effort.
Yeah, it is. We have 6 people in consumer affairs.
For the whole
that-
state.
For the whole state.
Wow.
For the whole
Heavy
state.
load.
There's 3 investigators. But for us to know, when people think, oh my God, I don't know what to do, I'm just out, out of options. And then when they finally come to consumer affairs and find out, well, hey, they can hold businesses accountable,
Right.
to the statutes that Nevada has, they
Right.
feel so much better, because we actually, when we take on a complaint, we don't take it on as a consumer.
Yeah.
But we take it on for the state. We've helped people from all over the world.
Isn't that
Very
awesome?
cool. Very cool.
I really like that. We're going to have you come back and talk some more. Maybe you'll have a scenario. We won't give names. I don't want to do that. But, we don't want to give the names, but at least give us a scenario.
For the
'cause I
time
can-
being, we're about to have to go. We're about to have to spit out some PSAs.
Yes.
And make room for wings coming up.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so I have to give these PSAs. So, Night Off the Streets PSA. This one is Night Off the Streets presents Hands Across Carson Getting Groovy. That's on July 19th from 4:30 to 8. It is at the governor's mansion. It's a barbecue dinner, music, raffle, and auction. And you can go to NOTS, N-O-T-S, Carson.org. The next one is Carson Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, also known as CAMPO, invites the public to participate in a long-range transportation survey. We need that.
Please go.
All right, let's see. I am going to give you the telephone number. It is 775-283-7525, or you can email Carson Area MPO at carson.gov, or you can visit carsonareampo.com. Oh, we're almost done. Let's see. Computer Tech has a summer tech camp, and I am going to give you that phone number, 775-883-2323, or email admin@computercores.org. And so we have just a few seconds to go. Bless you. We have a few seconds to go, and we're going to close out today. But when we move to our new location, we're going to try to get some extra time in. Because
cool.
I know
That would
30
be great.
minutes on a lunch break is,
It goes by so fast.
lickety split.
It sure does.
So thank you, everyone.
It
And
was a pleasure.
yes, and I'm going to add more to this particular video when we're done at the end. So make sure everybody pays attention, okay?
All right, everybody, check it out. Go to knbc.org. You can hear past shows of us here, or you can go to Facebook, go to Carson Rural Communities, and CJ puts everything up there for you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Mics are off.